Thank you. Maybe you don't hear those words enough. We don't send a lot of those around. But I'm going to say it, and I'll give one to you. And my thank you is because you pushed play on We're Just People podcast. And let me just say that if you've pushed play and you don't really know much about our podcast, the main goal is to solve crime. The main goal of this podcast is to solve crime. And let me tell you, we've got a good record so far. We're making a difference, No, the main goal of this podcast is to break down what's happening with WrestleMania. That's what we do here at We're Just People. And I'm teasing. I'm not making fun of podcasts that do that at all. But what we do is we generate giggles and laughs, okay? So if you're in need of some of those, I think that we can at least give you a giggle, because life is short on giggles, right? We've got a lot of information, a lot of education, a lot of, a lot of that stuff. But we need some more giggles. So I want you to giggle, because sometimes solving crime, gets you all angry and gets you upset and emotionally charged. And as far as listening to podcasts, you need to calm down a little, right? Because I thought that we could be civil about this. I gave that with some authority, and I thought we could be civil about this. And I also thought that, one thing I always say is just that girls expect way too much out of guys. And that's just a fact. That's some of the education you learn here at We're Just People podcast. And also stick around, okay? Because what you're gonna learn eventually is that you're just you, right? We can't do anything about that fact. You're just you. And guess what? You don't have to stress about it either, because that's all you can be. So you're just you, and then I'm just me. And you can't worry about that, because you can't change that. You're just you, and I'm just me, and
we're just people. 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 Talking with a free soul and dark chocolates.
oh yeah. That's that. That's our theme song. That's our... I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Hot Rod before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Maybe that's below your standards. Maybe that's perfectly fine for you. But I've seen that movie. And the scene where they are walking down the street singing some song. And then, what is the song? What is the song? I know some of you are listening to this or watching this and you're singing the song and it's frustrating you because I'm not singing it. But they're going down the street and then, it's super inspiring, and then things erupt into madness and it turns into some kind of citywide riot. What is that song? Okay, maybe I'll look it up. But that song, We're Just People, can you just imagine it? Like you and I, all 172 of us that listen to this podcast. There's more than that, and I think so, across different platforms and all that, right? When we get all the algorithms straight. But one day we're going to get together and we're going to storm the streets of Hurricane, West Virginia. And that was kind of an evil laugh, but we're going to storm the streets, and together we're going to, march all of us. We're not even going to do it in a group because we're all equals, right? We're going to get in a 172 person, front line, right? And then we're just going to be, what do we have? We're going to have, Well, some of us are going to be holding banners, right? We're just people. Some of us are going to be high-fiving. We could be skipping. Some of you are going to be on each other's backs, like doing piggyback rides, because it's going to be a fun thing. And we're going to be storming the streets of Hurricane singing.
We're just people. We're just people.
High five.
We're just people. We're just people.
What is Sean doing skipping?
We're just people. Talking with a free soul.
Free soul.
And dark
Chocolate. Oh, yeah. All right, did you feel that one? Did you feel going down the street claiming that mantra, we're just people? And what I was saying earlier, I love it because you can't, you can develop yourself as a person, but you can't intrinsically change, you can just be yourself. And that's what we want. And that's what you're dying to be anyway. So go ahead and do it because that's what all of us want. We want to encounter you, right? Not the person that you think you should be or the person that you think everyone wants you to be. We want to encounter you. So be that. Now, again, if you're new with us, I feel like this podcast is a bit of an acquired taste, and I'm sorry for that. When I first started drinking coffee, I wasn't real impressed. And it just dawned on me that is likely the overwhelming majority of people's first encounter with this podcast is I'm not real impressed, But if you just keep on keeping on, why I drank coffee is because I watched other people and I thought, man, I wish I could do that. It was kind of like everyone else is doing it. And then I wanted to have that, walking around the office with a coffee cup or sitting on the couch early in the morning or sitting outside on the patio with a coffee. I want to do that. So I drank coffee, and did I like it? No, I didn't. And now, do you like this podcast? You may not, but do you want to be cool? Right? Do you want to be one of the people that, it's an acquired taste. And the more that you listen to it, I think the more that you'll grow to love it. Because you know why I know that? Is because some people love us. and there's times in life where that's what you got to say. Everyone may not love me. This may not be for everyone, but some people love me. And I think if you've listened long enough, you probably know who I'm thinking about. That if it gets down to just one single person, I know we'll always have at least one listener. But there's actually several. And I want to say a special shout out to Jen. She doesn't necessarily like to get her name thrown around a bunch and all that, but she is definite day one, and we love her so much. But listen, last week I realized a couple things. First of all, that I didn't send you with some Dove. I didn't do some Dove love, so I'm gonna do that early on. But as we're getting started here. I don't have, I'm going, this is solo again, but I've got, I had Sean send me, well, what I should have done is I should have led you to believe that Sean's in the room with me for anyone listening to the podcast because, well, that'd be fun, but he's not, but I had him contribute. Like, I'm not going another week without your melodically cocoa butter voice. So you need to give me something. So Sean, we'll just say he's here, even though he's not, but he's going to let you know where we can listen. So Sean, what's up, man? You look great. And I'm saying that as a general statement because I don't see you right now, but I'm just saying as a matter of fact that you look great. And I'll just say that, maybe in the comments of YouTube, you guys can comment whether or not you want the beard back or not. But, and Sean's really driven by that kind of thing. So he'll definitely make his choice based off of the comments. So make sure and do that. But, Sean, where can people listen to the podcast? And if you're new with this, I know, okay? I'm going to do this anyways though, because you need options, and here they are.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn and Alexa, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Castro, Castbox, Pod Chaser, Pandora.
Well, thank you, Sean. Now, again, I'm saying it's an acquired taste because if you've listened to maybe 5 or 10 episodes, you probably really enjoyed that. You probably thought, that's so goofy of them. You know what? I think I maybe just coined the goal of this podcast. If I want you to think anything about us, it's not that we're cool. If you come to the conclusion that, man, that's so goofy, that's a win. But you know, if this is your first episode, you're like, what is funny about that? That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of acquired taste. Stick with us, and I think you'll begin to love it. Now, I ate a piece of chocolate when our friend Mr. Kilgore was talking, and I'm going to give you a little bit of Dove love, and I'm going to give you one at the end as well, because you deserve double. And this is Dove chocolates. And, you know, Dove chocolates, if you want some, you can get some. If you're watching on YouTube, you can get some, the link in the description, right? Amazon affiliate marketing. You can order it right off Amazon, and we'll get like, you know, a little, someone will bite the corner off of a penny and mail it to Sean, and then Sean will deliver it to me. So you can buy, and then you'll get something like this all the time. And this is just an encouragement. I don't know, you might be on the edge of trying to make that decision. You've been working hard, right? You've been working hard, and you've got vacation days saved up, but you know, you don't want to be that person that looks like they, you know, whatever, and you got all this stuff going on. But I want to tell you this. Book the flight. Now that was it. And I sang it in a way where it didn't resolve. And also, I'm alone in a room. So I'll just say that singing out the Dove chocolates, that might be the one time that it happens when I'm alone. But book the flight. Maybe you need a vacation. So, man, I've got several things. I've got a couple of hotline calls I want to get to. And by the way, how's your Friday? I know it's Friday. And you're thinking to yourself, what in the world? How does he know it's Friday? Did they plan ahead to miss the Thursday date? No, we didn't plan ahead to do that. Who do you think I am, right? So you're thinking, then how does he know it's Friday? Because guess what? It's Thursday night right now. That's how, normally we're a lot more ahead of the game, but we got ourselves into a little bit of a pickle, and I just couldn't do it yesterday. And today, honestly, was a bit of a struggle to get around and get this thing done. But I'm getting it done because I have grown to love this little group here that we call the Yam Fam, or whatever we call ourselves. If you're new to the podcast, subtract that. I know that's not cool, but I'm making it happen, and it's Thursday night, and where was I go? Oh yeah, it's your Friday morning fix, and I've got some hotline calls though. I want to get to that. And let's go to our first call here. Now, it's Friday. Does it feel different listening to We're Just People podcast? Some of you are like, Grant, I never listen the day it comes out. So it might be a leap year, the Tuesday of a leap year. And you're like, I don't ever listen on this day, only once every whatever. But, it's different for me. We normally have something out this late in the week, and this is different. And let's all guess whose fault this is, right? Right. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Sean. You got it right. That's exactly whose fault this is. Okay, so we got a couple voicemails here. I want to get to them. I'm trying to remember. We got some good ones, but I want to jump into one. I'm trying to remember exactly what they are. Let's hear. And again, you know, I'm doing this. So is it titled with the name and the date? No. Did it used to be? Yes. What's the difference? Sean. But it's none of this is his fault. And if you've listened at all to our podcast, you know that by now. But normally he sets it up real nice, and we'll get back to that next week. But let's check this out. It'll be a surprise. We'll be surprised together. Who the heck is calling in?
Hi, we're just people. I'm not going to tell you my name.
Oh, okay. Well, then none of us will know. That's okay. What's up?
I'm going to leave you guessing.
All right.
So that every time I call back, I can give you a clue and create a little bit of mystery here. I just wanted to say I
like
love
it.
you guys. I have listened to you as I'm leaving the gym, while I'm getting ready for Bible study, sitting in my car eating my lunch. I tune in when
Oh, that one just hit me. Sitting in your car, eating your lunch. You know, we all do that. Probably more than we like to admit. Some of us do it every day of the week. Or, did that sound like a confession? That wasn't a confession. But even if it was, who cares? Some of us do that. We eat lunch in the car. I've done that. Oh, and the worst place to do is at Chick-fil-A. Because you park and you think you're going to have just a nice little relaxing alone time, but there's so many cars jammed up and it's a big stress ball. When you want to leave, you can't leave because the parking lot is full and there's workers everywhere. And they're experiencing a lot of, well, it's their pleasure. Okay. So, but we've all been there. And the fact that you're in the car eating your lunch, right? Which is a good thing to do. You get some alone time or whatever, and it brings a lunch hour. You can make it concise. I'm so happy that we get to be there with you. I mean, that little dynamic there, I just love that. I think that's awesome. So when you do that, just know, well, just remember I said this because I think it's cool. And I have definitely done that, not listening to myself, but other podcasts. Let you keep talking.
whenever I can, and I'm desperately trying to catch up on some of the episodes I missed. I just want to call in and say, keep doing what you're doing. The first episode I heard, it was dark, it was storming. I was driving on Interstate 40 on my way to Oklahoma City. I was in the construction zone.
Wow.
And somebody suggested, let's listen to this podcast. And it was the Slipstream episode. And honestly, I think I had to go to the Slipstream to get through that storm and get to where I was going.
Wow.
But I laughed so hard, I had tears running down my face, which didn't make it any easier to drive. But I still loved it enough to tune in the next week. Okay.
Now, you all know me. Let's just talk about this objectively. Whoever this call is, my heart is beating. There's been so much affirmation in this call, and that's all I ask for, to be honest. Leave a review, leave a comment, and call in. But this right here, we have a little term on this podcast called being wooed, and this got me. So I love this so much. And this, you were in a storm. I love that that's how we were introduced. It's like damsel in distress. That's so funny. And me and Sean, talking about the Slipstream, we were there for you. But let me just say that episode was the one that we have questioned ourselves about the most, I think. We were so nervous that it got so strange. But you laughed, and I love it so much. I don't know who you are. I could take a few guesses, but let's leave the fun going. And let me let you keep talking. So let's do that.
And the next week. And so you've accomplished your purpose. You've made me smile. You've made me laugh. I've cried.
Aww.
So keep doing what you're doing, Grant. You're doing a great job. Sean, let me just say, those critics, that was awful. What were they thinking?
That's
you
right.
have a great voice. So don't let anybody ever tell you that you don't.
Yes.
Your voice is awesome. Hang in there, guys. I love you. I'm going to keep tuning in. I'll call back another time and leave you another clue. But here's the first one. I'm a mom of the people. Talk to you soon.
Oh, snap. Another abductee of the Mom of the People Hall of Fame. Mystery Mom. Mystery Mom. I felt that mom energy. I felt that you heard my heart, that I was hoping that people were smiling. I was really wanting to, and you heard and then you affirmed. And then with Sean, I felt it real strong there. You're like, honey, I don't even know if you said honey, but that's what's in my head. Honey, don't let anybody. Oh, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. You know what I think we could do on this podcast? We could offer some kind of a service, because I'm telling you, we're mom strong. All right. We're mom forward on this podcast. We are, that's what we are. And that's become a bit of a niche of this podcast. And, I said niche. I don't know if it's niche or niche, but I'm from Oklahoma, so whatever that means. But what I think we could do is, if you need a little mom affirmation, maybe you could email in or call in. And then maybe we could hook up one of the stars of the Big Dipper, which this mystery mom has gotten placed. Right? I know it's a high honor and it's her first call and she's a new listener, but I feel it in my soul that this is a true Hall of Famer. But maybe they could deliver some affirmation for your specific insecurities. This is going to get weird, but that's a wrong statement because this is weird. And maybe that's what we like about it. And, maybe me and Sean will visit the slipstream again. I know that he may have just listened to this. And when I said that, he probably threw his phone or dropped his phone or just rolled his eyes or something like that. But we may have to go back there. But anyways, thank you so much for that call. Man, I needed that. Can I be honest? It is not always easy to record this podcast. Now, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? You sit in front of a mic. Obviously, you don't plan what you're going to say, right? And we do to some degree, but and you're like, how could that be difficult? Well, one of the things is it's a commitment every single week, and we've done it. This is episode 35. And that's the kind of thing we say when there's other people in the room to remind us to say that. But we've done this 35 weeks, never missed a week consecutively. And that's a big deal for your boy GP. But not just the consistency of it. One thing that I want this podcast to be, and I hope it is for you, I like it to stay lighthearted. And there's sometimes that I come in and I kind of want to talk about something more heavy, air out a little more of the heaviness that might even be on my heart, because I know that's on yours too. But I just have a little bit of this kind of, I feel like I've got a commitment to keep this light. Because I think that's the need that we meet, because a lot of life is super heavy. A lot of life is decision making, it's being disappointed, or it's, not living up to someone's or it's a lot of other things too. It might be really fulfilling, but it might be complicated and difficult, even though it may be rewarding. And so I like for you to be able to count on that, at least for, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour a week, you're going to turn this thing on in the middle of a storm, get in the slipstream with Sean Boy and me, and sometimes Danae/Rebecca and others that are amazing. And you're going to be able to do a little giggle, a GGL, possibly an LOL at times. And apparently we've got a mom that drops tears also. So, but I want you to count on that, but I'll just say that there's some days, and yesterday was for sure, today was one of those days as well, that if I would have hit record earlier, it would have not been bubbly lighthearted. And I don't say bubbly as in like fake, because this is me. How am I not being me? I'm in this room, right? With no one to impress. And I love this tone and this vibe, and I love to operate at this level because it's part of who I am. And I love being, I love doing this sometimes. And I didn't actually get to do this often before I started this. And that's why I did it. Every once in a while I want to sing dumb songs, right? Crazy songs. Or I want to, develop little ideas about the slipstream, or I want to, talk about penguins and cities and I want to do just random stuff like that. But there are times where it's like, all right, we got to record, and but GP's feeling that down, feeling that suboptimal operational zone. You know what I'm saying? little bit of that heaviness. But there's so many times it's like, let's just go. Let's go. And then I'll be honest, almost every time, man, this thing brings joy. And even those times where, fight through, and everybody has to do this, right? Even with your kiddos or with stuff you have to do around the house. You don't always feel like it. And it can be simple things, but you just don't always feel like it sometimes. Now, I love doing this, but there are just times that okay, you got me hooked on the slipstream, but to get into this specific vein, it just takes some navigation. And sometimes you got to go from, 1,000 miles below sea level to up on the mountain. And there's something cool about this podcast that I think hopefully it helps you. And then I know that it helps me get up there. So earlier today, we could have done a podcast that was about, it would have had a lot different tone, but I let a little life happen, a little time pass. Isn't that how it works, right? You let a little time pass. Circumstances don't necessarily change, but what's in your mind begins to change. And you kind of just see it a little differently. Or all of a sudden, it was the end of the world. Now it's just, it'll pass. You let a little time pass, and then next thing you know, you're in front of a light, and you got your Home Depot light cranked on. You've got buttons everywhere. You got your hydro dip cup, and you're recording a podcast. And that's life. And that's life. And I try to provide that too, because I'll be honest, there's times when I'm in those modes, whatever you want to call it. I'm that kind of person that, I'm a little bit more of a roller coaster than I am driving on the highway. The highs are real exciting and the lows are real low. But what I love about things like this is comedy, man, is powerful. Now, I know that I just called our podcast comedy, and I'm not bold enough actually to claim that. But I say that more because I don't know what else to call it. And so anyways, but there are times that, I have things that I do, and I'm Christian, and I do, there's practices within Christianity, and we pray and do those things, but every once in a while, I just need to laugh, right? So sometimes you're down in that area and that zone, and sometimes I'll, be flipping through YouTube or a podcast, or I'll see something released or something, and I'm just hit it. Like, let me just let something lighthearted come in, I want to smile. Sometimes it's hard to generate a smile when you're all alone. So, because I think we genuinely enjoy other people. And that's the beauty of technology, is that you may be eating lunch in your car, but I'm with you, right? And I'm asking for a French fry, and I'm stealing the barbecue sauce, And because people make other people smile. And that's what we want to do, is bring a few more smiles. If that's what we do, then that's what we do. Let me do this to break it up. We got breaking news. I wanted to update you about Hurricane West Virginia, excuse me. I looked up a little bit about Hurricane West Virginia, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, that was one of the most monumental hard turns of the entire podcast. Well, I didn't know how to do it. I kept thinking, like, we can either keep snowboarding down this hill, or we can get hit by a snow machine. And so I sent one, and it was called the Big News sound clip. And so that led me to, I was looking in a little bit more to Hurricane West Virginia, because we talked about that last week as making our top 10 of listener cities. And I looked up, we might run some kind of ad for people that live there. I looked up their website, and there's a message from the mayor of Hurricane West Virginia. And let me hit you with this real quick. Just in case you're listening from Hurricane, I'm just doing my civic duty. to pass on the mayor's message. As the mayor of the city of Hurricane, welcome to one of the most progressive communities in the state with many amenities such as, I need to go to the school for kids who can't read good. That's not from the mayor, that's from me. Such as indoor, outdoor recreation, parks, retail shopping, entertainment, and a business climate that is second to none. Now, hold on, Mr. Mayor. I love everything you've said so far. And you know what? I love your faith in your town. But let's not say that your business climate is second to none. You know why? You know why? New York City. or you know why? Dallas, Texas, right? There's other things I could mention, but I won't. But hey, second to none in your hearts, and I'll go with that. The city of Hurricane was ranked the second fastest growing community for the past 10 years, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Second fastest growing. Wow. I will say that on a news thing that I looked up, just really quick, trying to find something to talk about, that the mayor won by receiving 450 votes. Now, that's not a knock. I'm just saying that if you're growing fast, that means y'all got to be growing by the scores. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. And so the city continues to strive in providing its residents and businesses with top-notch services and infrastructure to succeed. Our path forward is not focused on today or tomorrow, but how we can achieve our objectives and goals for the next 50 to 100 years. The city of Hurricane exemplifies great leadership, determination, and resourcefulness for a bright future. I like that last sentence. You know, the city of Yams, the We're Just People gang, the champions, exemplify great leadership, determination, and resourcefulness for a bright future. And our business climate is second to none. Our comedic value is second to none. All right? Our inspirational, our original inspiration and encouragement is second to none. Our songs are second to none. Our listeners, listen, you're second to none. Did you know that? You're champions. Our hydro-dipped cups are second to none. We'll see if that's the title. Anyways, okay. Hey, Sean wants to weigh in. What's up, Sean? Yeah, sure. Talk to me.
Grant, I'm so glad you asked. We do have new listeners.
Okay,
and
new
I'm
listeners.
glad to just be a part of this
Yes.
in person
Cities.
right now.
Say the cities.
At the
Shut up,
recording
Sean.
of this episode.
Oh, this is amazing. I love Sean so much. At the recording of this episode.
While this is happening. And it's just so great to be here. Team effort, everyone involved, everyone's skin in the game. That's what they say.
Yeah, everyone's got skin in the game. I bet you played, you've been on, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just so excited that I'm digitally interacting with you and you're not present and I get to manipulate your voice however I want. That's really what's going on. Now I need to let you talk or I need to play the clip. This is getting weird. Here we go.
Maybe in another world.
Right.
Anyway,
Slipstream.
new listeners. We've got new listeners' cities, and we want to shout you out. So Loretto, Tennessee, thanks for tuning in last episode. We appreciate that. Hope you're doing awesome. We know there's a lot to do in Loretto, Tennessee.
Oh, burn.
And it's not just Jack White's song. Nobody probably listens to Jack White but me, but that's okay. Mark.
Sean with the burn. Sean brings the burn sometimes, doesn't he? You know? And he's got that dryness. We love Loretta. And when you get burned, that means we love you even more. And you didn't even get burned. I'm just being goofy.
Martinez, Georgia. Thanks for tuning in. Evans, Georgia.
Nice.
You too, man. We're all over Georgia. Georgia's a great place. Charlotte, North Carolina. We all know who's listening there. Spring, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Newburgh, Kentucky. We also know who's tuning in there.
Do we?
Madison, Alabama. My heart goes out to Madison. Great place. And
Wow. Okay. Heart goes out to Madison. Either Sean had a girlfriend named Madison or someone he loves is in Madison, or he had a especially romantic time in Madison. Who knows? Where else, Sean? These are cities that people are listening from.
What's really cool about this week, Grant, I'm so glad you asked.
Hold on. Hey, you know what? I don't even know what you're going to say. And you said that you're so glad that I'm asked, that I asked. And I'm going to go ahead and ask the question that I don't even know what I asked, because I know what I asked, even though I didn't ask anything. I'm asking, do we have a new smallest town? I just have a gut feeling that's where it's going. And if it's not going there, then we might just end the podcast.
We're tuned in to various places around the world.
Okay, I was wrong. And you know what? I'm not that devastated. I thought I would be. He's probably answering the question, are we in any other countries? Let's see.
I'm sorry, places around the world tuned into us.
Gotcha.
The first being China, a small town called Maizhu Guangdong.
If there was ever for sure going to be a sound clip that will be with us to the very end of this podcast, that was it. Now, there's not a great rewind function, but this is getting rewound, okay? And I just rewound it by about 30 seconds, but let's see where this is.
Tuned into us. The first being China, a small town called Maizhu Guangdong.
I love that you recorded that. And shout out to Maizhu Guangdong, right? Thank you for listening. I mean, honestly, that's amazing.
That was probably really disrespectful for me to say that like that. Maizhu Guangdong, thanks for tuning in.
Another burn.
You one listener. You're awesome.
Yes.
Madrid, Spain.
Now, let me react to Madrid in a second. You don't got to say that it's just one listener, Sean, all right? We're trying to give the illusion that who cares? There's one person. Madrid, Spain, that's incredible.
Come on, man. Spain is cool. Like you say, Grant, we are cool.
Right.
Now we're cool.
Right.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Wait, what's going on? I mean, I know you can't answer this question, Sean, but I'm asking myself. Why are there so many additional countries in last week's episode? You know, what about it was so foreign, was so appealing to foreigners? Foreigners, like where I live is the only place on earth. People that live in different countries, I don't know, but Spain, China, Brazil, here we go. Dreams coming true. And whose dream is mine?
Pretty awesome. And now there's one last country that tuned in from a couple different places. And it's pretty special because this is the second small town from another country outside of the United States that is tuned into the podcast. And so special recognition goes to Tatsuno, Nagano, Japan. All right.
Japan? What is happening? I love this.
Small town, just under 19,000 people there. It's got to be a great place. You know, I actually Googled it, as one does in 2020. And it seems like there's a lot of things to do in Tatsuno, Japan, Grant. Again, I'm glad you asked.
Hey, what's there to do
to the listener in Tatsuno, Japan? It'd be awesome for you to reach out to us.
Yes.
We've said this a lot in the past. Every single person that we've ever reached out to has always sent in stuff when we ask them.
Oh, I love asking so many things and getting 0.01 of the replies I wish. But it's all good. It's all good because I'm just happy you're listening to this thing. But yeah, keep going, Sean. Let me just say, you're taking a while, but I like it.
So you, listener in Tatsuno, send us maybe a photo or a video from the top place to visit in Tatsuno, which is Lake Suwa. There's a geyser at that lake. And there's autumn leaf colors, according to Google, which kind of knows all. Is
it me or is there a crowd of people around, Sean? I think it's, anyways, keep going.
You know, there's also Hotaru Doyo Park. Maybe you could send us a pic, you and your family there or something.
There's something about Sean not actually being here saying these things that's making me feel a little creepy. Send us a pic. Okay, finish, Sean.
We would love to see it. We're all just people. And then also, final city, Tokyo, Japan. Obviously, really small town. So, Grant, okay. We're not going to re-record that. Grant, thanks for having me on the podcast today. And
did he miss say podcast too?
We'll see if I'm on the podcast later. This episode.
Oh, Glant. Glant. I love that. Tokyo. You know, what am I doing right now? I'm sending a text message. And you think, how disrespectful is that? I would say, it's, you know, I'm sorry, but I've got to do this. And you think I'm going to edit it out? No way. Because any type of edit takes Glant an extra hour to 2. So that's what you get. And let's not skim by the fact that Tokyo tuned in. What, you know, I know I've asked what's going on about 100,000 times, but it's because I'm genuinely curious. But I think that's awesome that the fact that we're bringing smiles to Japan, China, Brazil, and Madrid, and the United States, and Australia, and many other countries. Okay, so let's, we got another voicemail I want to get to. Another voicemail. You guys doing okay? I hope you're doing okay. Shout out to, let's see. Shout out to, what am I going to shout out? It's the Dove chocolates. I'm sorry. I had a little brain. We're going to get to that though, because you can buy those in the link in the description. Okay. That was me having a moment that, you know, I'm not going to edit that out. So, but I do want to get to another voicemail, and here it is.
Hey, it's Mom. I'm on the way to work out, listening to the podcast, and I had to pull the car over. You know it's serious when Mom has to pull the car over?
What's up, Mom? Now, this is a mom-heavy episode. Why? Because we're a mom-forward podcast. We're mom-strong around here. I didn't know both of these were going to be from moms, and apparently this is Mom. Okay? So I'm feeling some authority in this voice right now. We all need to straighten up. If you're, whatever you're doing, listen, you need to straighten up, because Mom's about to say something.
I don't know what they were thinking, but Sean has the best voice. And I might even write a second book just so he can do the audio. That's all I had to say. I'm going to get back on the road now, so I'm not late, and I'm going to finish this podcast. Thanks, guys. I love you. You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you so much. I think that this was a voicemail that came in actually a couple of weeks ago when Sean was talking about the feedback from his audio acting career, reading books. And we could start a petition, you know, to get those reviews removed from audible.com. But did you feel the mom energy? She had that authority in her voice. And she canceled those negative comments. All right? Sean's not even here, and he's getting so much affirmation, and it's beautiful, and I love it. That's amazing. So, yeah, what else? We've got the last thing I want to just say, and we'll wrap it up here, I think, is that you know what you ought to have? You ought to have a free soul. Now, what does that mean exactly? A free soul means that you can be yourself and not feel ashamed. A free soul means that you can laugh without reservation, you know? A free soul means that you can be creative or spontaneous without fear of retribution or other people's reactions. You know, I think that's one of the things that gets crammed so often in people's life is the freedom to be spontaneous. And having a free soul is all about being spontaneous. What do you think this whole thing is? This podcast is one big step of GP saying, I'm going to be spontaneous because I'm operating in that free soul. And let me ask, when's the last time you were spontaneous with your life? You know, it doesn't have to be crazy, but when's the last time you stepped out on the dance floor? Or when's the last time you sang karaoke? Or when's the last time you ran to a baseball game that you don't even know who they are. You just wanted to be in the stands and cheer. Or when's the last time you went to the mountains to take pictures? Do you even take pictures? When's the last time you took an art class? Or when's the last time you tried cooking a new dish? Maybe you're hung up in the routine. When's spontaneous? And I want for you to pry open whatever is holding back the freedom to be spontaneous. Being a free soul is being free to be spontaneous. And so think about what you got going on and what is keeping you from feeling that free soul energy, that energy to laugh as loud as you want without being afraid of being made fun of. You know what I'm saying? Where's that free soul energy to, if you're gonna eat the hamburger and all the fries, just do it. You know, you could be healthy, but every once in a while, that free soul, you do it with no shame. And I want everyone to be able to have that free soul energy. That was an abrupt ending, but I timed it right, and that's all that matters. So, I love you guys so much, and next week, we will be back with another episode that will blow your mind. I won't reveal the secrets of what the episode will contain. Will there be any secrets even? You'll never know. Well, you'll know next week, and I'll end with this. Some dove love from me to you. Smiles are free, so share them. It's our outro. I'll see you later. See you next week. You thought it was over, but it's not. And if I keep playing this, I'm going to try to rap. And if I do that, all of my credibility for everything in life will go away. So I'm going to end this before that happens. But I just saw the button and I had to push it. I had to push it. So we love you so much. And finish off your night with a little bit of
Gizzards.